and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a very long time and I've got a couple of things coming up soon, hopefully, video wise, to do with the motorbike, but I've got a different one today. As if you've watched any of my older videos, I did have one of a rifle that I built up from just a stock rifle to a chassis system and all the rest of it. So I've got another one similar to that today. Bought myself a TAC, however you want to pronounce it, and in 300 Win Mag, and then I just decided I was going to leave it as is because I was happy with it, but then I thought, nah, I can't leave this stock. So I went and bought a bunch of stuff. I've been waiting for quite some time for this to rock up, but what I did receive prior is I bought the PRS Gen 3 Magpul stock. Got MDT's pistol grip. Got two magazines, 300 Win Mag, obviously, because it's a 300 Win Mag. A new muzzle brake that's supposedly really good from my research, and a buffer tube for the stock because that's how it gets fitted on there. So that stuff turned up ages ago, and since then I've been waiting about 15 weeks for this to rock up because it had to get ordered specifically from Canada as they didn't have them in stock. So a little bit of an unboxing video, and then we'll get into assembly. So if you did watch my previous video, which was it was a Hauer 1500 6.5 Creedmoor that I turned into, well, it was the stock I had before I had the Creedmoor. I had it on my Hauer 1500 308, and I bought the Creedmoor because I wanted to see what all the hype was about. Yes, it's an extremely accurate rifle, but using it for hunting, not that great. I don't particularly like it for hunting because of the way that it tends to pinhole a lot of animals, and I don't see that as very humane, so I don't do it. I use my 308 if I need to knock down bigger game. I use my 243 for most things. My 243 is my workhorse because it basically knocks everything down. But occasionally I might decide to go 308. I'll use my 6.5 Creedmoor on occasion, but for most animals I just won't even bother using the 6.5 because I think it's just the way that it expands. It doesn't expand overly great. Maybe for denser animals it might be good, but for the animals that I shoot, it's average at best, is all I can say. So as you can see, I've gone MDT again, but this one is not the ESS sniper chassis. It is the what's it called? The TAC21, I believe it's called, where it basically fully encases the action, creates a directly back recoil. Instead of, you know, getting that slight rise, it should recoil straight back. And this is the first time I've looked at it. As you can see, I did not open anything. We're looking at it exactly the same time for the first time. So different packaging material to what I remember the ESS chassis coming into. I think the ESS chassis came with books. Yeah, I already had one of these and I threw it out. That's not really, it's just bullet stuff. I don't really care. I buy factory ammunition, so I don't need that. Yeah, TAC21, so I dare say this is the, well, it says it right there, idiot. It's 4-end. Christ. Learn to read before making assumptions, right? I bought this in FDE, I believe. FDE 4-end. Very nice, very solid, all alloy construction. Now I do believe this is going to have a little bit of a tricky installation because of the trigger mechanism and whatnot. Oh yeah, I've got some screws there as well. Screw that onto the 4-end. But the videos that I watch, I don't think this is going to be as hard as, say, a Remington 700, because the Remington 700 has a bunch of pins and stuff for the trigger. Admittedly, I've not pulled apart a Tikka before, so I don't actually know if it's any worse or better. But we'll find out once I start putting this all together, because I've been super excited to get this done. So here's the chassis itself. Alright, so manual, a mint, because that was what they sent me last time. They sent me a mint in case I want to suck on something. Stickers, everyone likes a good sticker. And the chassis itself. So we've got the bottom part the action sits in, top part that, well, the action sits in this, and then that connects to that to go like that. It's fully encased, nice cutouts and everything for the bolt. Yeah, looks pretty amazing. So I guess I should probably go get my rifle from down in my safe and start slapping this biatch together. Nice lot of bolts and everything like that, so there's a few bits and bobs in there that I've never seen before, and I'm guessing I probably should read up on the manual first, because I have no freaking clue what that is. What's this? Oh, yeah, that would be a recoil lug, which I dare say is going to be much better than the original, because I'm pretty sure the original recoil lug on a Tikka is just like an alloy piece. The funny thing is with Tikkas, unlike the Howers, which the action itself is all just one piece, including the recoil lug, on Tikkas the recoil lug is actually a separate bit, which I'm not fond of, just because obviously anything that creates more movement or has the possibility of movement, to me means less accuracy. But the Tikka has proved to be very fruitful in terms of being extremely accurate, especially considering it's a 300 Win Mag and I'm not used to that kind of recoil as of yet. I'm still practicing. But the weight of this chassis, as well as the new muzzle brake, I've got a muzzle brake on it already, but it's an average muzzle brake. It doesn't perform very well in comparison to other more ported muzzle brakes as the one that I have purchased has. But we'll see. We'll see. Alright, so I'll just chuck this in the box, and then I'll go get the rifle, and then we can start slapping it together. And hopefully it won't be too hard. Oh, I should probably get the manual out and read that. I'll read that off camera, and then hopefully I'll get the gist for when I'm recording. So I'll see you guys shortly to start putting all this shit together. Alright, this is the big girl in all its glory. So it's already got a muzzle brake. I've just got a cheap Bushnell, I think it's an Elite tactical scope. I pulled that off my 308. Stock, standard 300 Win Mag. Pretty cool, right? Stock's not too bad, I like it, but it's not going to be as good as the chassis. So I'll get around to start pulling things out now. So they're going to be star bits. Alright, so what I need is my toolkit. This is my Wheeler Professional toolkit. Alright, keep getting interrupted here, but we'll get there eventually. Let's see if this is the right size. I don't particularly like the play in that. So we'll get me a little cheapo crafty and see if I can't find something that fits a little nicer. Nope. Nope. That's got to be it there, isn't it? Jesus, surely not. That fits nicer though, so we'll go with that. So I've read briefly the manual for this. Sorry if there's loud noise in here, but I've got my fan on because it's stupidly hot at the moment. Alright, so I probably should take my scope off because I'm not going to require that on either. So that'll be something else I need to get rid of. That can be, leave it down, yep, that one. I'll actually do the scope first, which is unfortunate. Probably should turn the torque up. Because this does it in reverse as well as forward. Sucks I'm going to lose my zero, but I'm probably going to have a much better zero by the time I'm done. Oh, don't tell me that's fucking rounding off. Alright, we're already running into drama. Might use my better tools to sort this out. I think it's this one. No. Smaller again. No. What is going on here? It has to be the next size up. I'm pretty sure this was not. Really? Is this a freaking metric or bloody imperial? Christ almighty. I'm not having much luck here at the moment. We'll try this one. Alright, it's that one. They're done up tight, or they're not done up tight. It's just got Loctite on it, so that's not required. It helps to have use the right one for the job. So I'll tighten them back up so that I don't lose any of that hardware. I don't even know if these rings are going to be tall enough for this chassis. I'm going to probably have to pull rings off of my 308 because they're current, or I might just buy new rings actually. So today I'm probably just going to aim to get the rifle fitted into the chassis, and I'll worry about the scope later. I'm going to have to take this rail off as well. These are going to be too small, and they're a star. They're a star. Maybe try the next size up just to see if it's see, yeah, we got the bloody glue shit on there. It must be this one. There's some bloody weird and wonderful attachments in here. It's a good kit for something that was super cheap. There's one part in the instructions that I wasn't too sure about, which was to do with the safety, or not the safety, the bolt catch. Have to remove something in there. Don't worry about that when I get to that. I think I need to find myself. Might get a sandwich bag to put this in so I don't lose the bolts for it. Given this is a single piece, I should be able to fit this in one of my other rifles, to be honest. Alright, here we go. So I'm going to go find myself a sandwich bag. Alright, got myself a sandwich bag to place this gear in, so all the little screws don't go flying everywhere. I've even got the lug, so I forgot about that. Oh, is the other lug in there? Or there's only one. There's only one lug. That's good. Keep that to one side. Alright, so now we've done that, it's time to get this undone. Now look at that. Perfect. I think I can actually take that out as well. I could probably put that in there. It's no longer going to be required. These weren't really set in overly tight. Alright, so that should be, ooh, that's in there nice and tight. There's the lug, not that I'm going to require it. I don't know if that feels like alloy or not. Maybe they decided to start shooting steel, but it doesn't look like anything too major. Anyway, it's a bloody sturdy, like there is literally no flex in that. That goes to show like how much stronger Tikka makes their stocks in comparison to say someone like Hogue, where you can literally grab the forend and just twist the fucking thing. Excuse the language, twist the thing. Which you obviously don't want. Alright, so safe on. Yep, safety on. So that's the pin they were talking about. That's the pin. So what happens if I go? So I've got there's a bit of dirt in here. Be nice to have a bit of a cloth actually. Cloth and some cleaning stuff, but it's not really going to make a difference, to be honest. Just use the oils from my hands to oil the steel, even though that's probably not a thing, and it's probably oil from your hands, probably corrosive, but anyway. It's made to withstand this shit. It's pretty good actually. Put in, you can see where I have oiled it. But anyway, moving on. I believe the next stage was to take the trigger off. I'll just move this shit and get the thing out. So, cool thing is with the instructions, it's got the instructions for every single model. So Tikka, Savage, Remington, whatever. So, yeah, take that off. So that's the tension. Okay, so how does that, what is the purpose of that? To be so it goes, so it must hit up against there. I don't understand what that's for. But anyway, I'm not a dude that understands this shit. I'm just going to rip shit apart as it's said in the manual and put it back together as it's said in the manual. No, that's a bit too loose, that one. That's perfect. So we'll go with that. Put that one to one side. Undo this back. Whoop. Fuck, that's done up tight, eh? Let's say it's probably 60 pound, yeah? Might be getting the yeah, that's definitely done up tight. Jesus Christ. They use red Loctite on this one. No, it doesn't even look like there's any Loctite on it. Alright, so that's on safe. And then I've got to pull this out apparently without the spring coming loose. How do you freaking do that? Remove bolt stop by pulling out bolt stop pin. Take care not to lose small spring. So how do I know where the freaking spring is? Maybe I'm gonna do that last, like right before I put it in the chassis, which is basically now. Why would you take it out anyway? What's it gonna hit? Let's just start unpacking this bad boy, because sometimes, I found this out with cars. When I used to do, there's probably a lot of wind noise going into the camera right now. I found out with cars that they give you certain instructions, but sometimes you can do workarounds. This may not be the case, but I'm going to have a quick squiz before I start taking things out, which I think is not going to go back together the way I want them to. Especially when springs are involved. Don't particularly like dealing with springs. Especially when I don't really have any fine equipment to successfully get things back together if I fuck up. Alright, so we've got this, so I guess we'll be taking that off, so that's not required. I want to know if this is going to... okay. That's the problem. It catches. Where's that go? That's gonna go in that nook. Okay. So, yeah. They say press it down, but they don't say take it off. But how do you prevent the spring from popping out? Well, I don't like this at all. Okay, that's out. Ah, okay. Gotcha. Fuck, that's gonna be a pain to get in, I think. There we go. Beautiful. How it's supposed to go. I'm glad my daughter's not home, because chances are there'll be lots of bits and pieces flying everywhere. Alright, so we've got new springs. We've got another pole thing. We've got this. I'm going to stick that in. Can I stick that in now? I know it's not supposed to, but this is pretty hefty bit of kit. I think this is the catch, the thing that I didn't know. Whoop, 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 whoop. Hold your horses, mate. We've got another spring. And we got this thing. I think this is the catch for heat. Possibly. Looks like there's a spring, and I'm guessing that goes in there. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, it seems to fit perfectly. Question is, the spring's going in there, so that must mean, but how does that lock in? It just sits in there. I don't like that. Oh yeah, because the bottom metal holds it in. Whatever. Gotcha. Right, so once we've done that shit, so slide it in, rotate 45 degrees. Yeah. If looking down the barrel, this will enable the safety lever to slip in between the action. Oh, I wasn't supposed to take that off, but I did. Can I not just put it in place again? Can I would have presumed I could. Then if that's the case, why do you tell me to... So 45 degrees. Why do you tell me to take the fucking thing out? If it can just go in. That just sits in there. Okay, so... Oh no, wait. I'm going to cut this out because this is not the safety lever, this is the bolt release, you idiot. I'm getting confused now. So this has got to go in. If you're looking at it 45 degrees. Okay, 45 degrees. I'm a little bit confused at how they're expecting this to go in. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, so we've got that in. So that's what they mean. They mean 45 degrees counterclockwise. So then basically you can slip it down in between the action in there and that gap down in the side there. You've got your safety lever that can just slot in there. So this is the point, I presume, is where I'm sticking the rotate action back to its original position. I'll guide the trigger mechanism into it. Yep. Reinstall trigger bolt, tension clip, torque 25-30 inch-pounds. So we'll go 30, considering it was so freaking tight on there last time. And I'm going to Loctite it. I love having this torque wrench. Got one up. Alright, so we've got that. Move this somewhere out of the way. That's not going to work. That might work. Get my Loctite. Here we go. So, I don't know how this thing fucking works. Does it just sit down like that? It must, because that's all it does. This has got to sit forward a bit. So this must be something, I don't know what this is, to be honest. Someone in the comments can tell me if they know what I'm looking at. So I sure as hell do not. Only a touch, you don't need too much of this stuff. It's only to stop it from coming undone, not to create a mechanical seal. Just to make sure that's straight. Alright, so that's 30 pounds. And yeah. So the pins are got to go in there, no doubt. Alright, so that's in place. Now I've got to have that doesn't make sense. Is it this one? Oh. The 1/8 and then the 1/2 inch. Well, it's giving me a really big long one. What? Okay. So, reinstall bolt stop and secure with original bolt stop pin. Yeah, well, good luck with that. This is going to be fiddly, no doubt. I don't know if anyone's able to see what the hell I'm doing, but almost lost the spring. That would have been great. Alright, so that's that. The original. Got to find the hole. That's what she said. There we go. I think I got the hole. Surprisingly, this is not as difficult as I was expecting. I shouldn't talk. Okay, well that seems to be in. Times 1/2 inch dowel pin on top of the original bolt stop pin. This will ensure that the original bolt stop pin cannot fall out once assembly is complete. Okay, well where's the other dowel that they're talking about? Is it this? It doesn't look like it because that's got to go on there. I don't see that as working. So it can't be that. They're saying there's another pin, but where's this pin? I haven't received another pin. And that's not 1/2 inch. It's not this. These would go in here, wouldn't they? That's action screws. These are going here. Surely. Maybe I just won't worry. Because it's not like it came out of the action before. Really don't like that. It's not kosher. Unless it's got to go that way. It must sit like that. So that sits on top. And then that's got to like... No, that can't be right. That pin's not right. You know what I think? I think the instruction, this has been updated and this pin's supposed to go all the way without the other pin, because it's saying a 1/8 and then a 1/2 inch. This is more than 1/2 an inch. That's what I think. And I don't even, do I have a tape measure? I do. So what, 1/2 an inch? So this is 30 mil, so this is over 1/2 an inch by a long shot. And I reckon that would have fit in. So that means I've got to take the trigger out. Do this again, fuck. I don't like it when they update shit and then they don't tell you. Or they don't update their instructions. So it makes it very difficult for blokes like me that don't have this kind of background to do this kind of work, because now I can't get that fucking thing out. Nice, 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 nice. So how are you supposed to disassemble this then? Gotta be shitting me. Gotta be fucking shitting me. Is there a way to take the safety catch off? Would be. It's about the only way to do it, I think. Unless I can rattle. This is where you need like needle nose pliers or something. Because if I take that out, then that'll unhitch from there. So if all I do Christ, it's so tight in there. Alright. That was a pretty dick move to tell me to put the first friggin' thing in when this is it. I don't even have pliers I could get down in there. Alright, I'll figure something out. Alright, so that was a good hour and a half worth of trying to get that out, but I finally got it out. I believe you no longer use the original pin because this pin is huge. So nice one, MDT. Thank you for me almost ruining my fucking rifle, because I had to essentially disassemble the trigger, which I knew nothing about, and especially I knew nothing about how to put it back together. I pretty much winged it, somehow managed to survive. So let's move on, shall we? Because that was a fucking nightmare that I hope I never never visit that again. So I'm hoping I'm right this time around. In here, this then goes down in here. I don't know if I'm getting that in right. Right, so that's in. One less thing to fucking worry about. See, as I said, they definitely modified this rifle without modifying the instructions, because look at that. That wouldn't have fit. There's no way that would have fit. So thanks MDT. I appreciate your quality of workmanship, but if you're gonna upgrade things, maybe upgrade your manuals too. Update, I should say. Alright, so at least now I know that's a possibility. I can get that out if I ever need to take this rifle apart. Alright, triggers in, done that, put the pins in. Apply force to the rear of the spring. This will compress the spring to allow it to tuck in between the catch assembly and the upper. What? I'm really starting to get confused here. So I know this goes there, that's some other bullshit. That goes in there. Pretty sure the dowels go here. Where the fuck's these dowels go? Now I'm really starting to get confused. So, action screws, dowels. They not? Yeah, there you go. Okay, so in theory this should slap together good. This needs to go in here. What a fucking tricky situation this is going to be. I'm really, what this has brought me to hate is springs. Really can't stand springs anymore. Purely on the basis of that job of trying to get my trigger back together was an absolute fucking nightmare, because there's a spring where the piston for the safety has to go, and this is exactly why I hate springs, because if you don't get it right, it doesn't go in. Springs in. Alright, my hand's getting shaky because I'm so fucking pissed off with this at the moment. This is not easy to do. What's this dowel shit it was talking about? So I've got the dowels in, got that in. I don't know what the fuck that is. But there's nothing else in this kit other than the bolts, so my presumption is it's going to now do these. So how many foot-pounds do we put these fuckers on? 65. So that's basically jacking this thing all the way up. Damn. This isn't going to extend in there, is it? Oh, it will. Is that threading or what? I think this is going to be one of those ones that fuck is everything. I had another one here somewhere. Oh, there. I'm just gonna have, I can't torque this one. Don't think I can anyway. Yeah, well, it's at a certain amount of foot poundage. Alright, so this has got to go in. Now I've got to put the fore end on. Thank Christ I'm getting somewhere. Because I swear I was going to have a mental breakdown. Alright, so beautiful. Slots in nicely. I think these ones are only torque to max 36, so I'm going to go 30. I'm not going to go 36. 30 with some Loctite. Alright, so I need a small. Oh, it's too much play. Surely not. No. That's what I'll have to do. It's close. Alright, 30 inch-pounds done. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to put these in here as well. Protect them from loss. And that basically doesn't come off then. Quick release. Fuck yeah, it's starting to come together now. I might chuck the handle on next, so I have something to grab hold of. Where did I put my knife? Oh, it's around here somewhere. Or I'll just rip it open like that. That'll do. Why not? I've almost broken everything else so far. Alright. Nice. Long thread. Can't complain with that, I suppose. So many different freaking size bolt heads in this thing. Can't just standardize. Alright. Handles on. Pew 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 pew. Okay. So there's that. Now I've got to put the stock on, which I believe it's just install the buffer tube and then attachments for the end of that. So pretty sure this is just screwing. Maybe if I could find the thread. There we go. I suppose I could tighten that up. I've got a little kit in here with a little shifter. I should probably get some paper and put it around the end, but you know what? I'm never going to see it, so it doesn't really matter. That's done up tight. Alright. Now for the last bit. Alright, so this has a few different attachments, I know that. I think, fuck, I'm at this point, because, like, that just looks fucking badass. It even surprisingly feels not badly balanced. Alright. Alright, so we've got a couple of things that I have to look at here as to what goes where, what and how. So I know, pretty sure, I don't think this is the one, no. So this is the one, yeah, because it goes in like that. So I have to, fucking different sizes for everything. You just can't win. No. Do I undo this? No. Do I can't even see that. No. Yes I do, because I've got to put it in there. That. See, one thing you can count on Magpul. Shit just fucking works. I've only bought a couple of Magpul things, but god damn it, they know how to manufacture stuff. From what I've seen so far. And this stock feels fucking amazing. I think it surpasses in my eyes the MDT stock. And then that goes on there, but then how does that lock in? So that's that. So there's got to be a locking fucking screw somewhere, which I think is actually under this. There's me instructions just to make sure I'm not fucking this shit up. It loosen. Slide onto stock. No. I already did slide on the stock. That shouldn't happen then. How does this work? That doesn't make sense. Because I'm pretty sure there's a friggin'... I have to screw into that. That's carbine receiver. Looking at the wrong one. Yeah, that's right. So I've got to pull the butt off of this thing, because there's a screw in here that I have to then get to. We're getting there, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting there. Alright. Pretty sure I didn't have to undo that all the way. Uh-oh. What the fuck did I just drop? Oh! Okay. It's a bit shifty. Alright, well I'm guessing I probably didn't have to undo that all the way, I just had to lower the stock down. So let's try and reinstall this now. This is what happens when you do things differently. So I only had to lower that to be able to get something on it. Right, and then we go. It's on. And we got this bolt, which will probably be another size again, just like everything else. It's a fucking flathead. Are you serious? Who the hell runs flatheads these days? Oh, still got the light on. Christ almighty. And there you have it. That is quite a beast of a rifle now. Woohoo! Beautiful. And then I've still got the muzzle brake. Put one of these mags in, see what she looks like with a mag. Fuck yeah. She's definitely got some weight about her. Sexy. I need to go get my bipod so then I can level this off, and I don't think this is going to be able to go back on because the rings aren't big enough. Nope. Need to buy some bigger rings. Bigger rings. I think these are mediums. But yeah, get the rings up and then should be sick. Well, I'll just stop here for the moment. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is how far I have gotten. I'm basically going to call it quits for the time being because, one, I don't have scope mounts that are tall enough to put a scope on. Secondly, the muzzle brake was on so goddamn tight I'm going to have to start blowtorching it and hopefully loosen it that way. So, but apart from that, this is about 95% completed. I'll turn it around because we get a look at with the bolt in. With the bolt in, you got a nice bolt in there. Beautiful, completely enclosed. This obviously isn't loaded. Crisp trigger again. Thankfully I didn't destroy my trigger, but everything works perfect. One thing to note with this build, so when I had to turn the camera off because I got a little bit stuck, what had happened was I had put in the original as per what the manual or instructions had stated. They wanted me to use the original pin plus another pin to secure the bolt release in place. I suggest anyone that's buying a TAC21 from 2024 or 2023 onwards, 2023, 24, for the ticker, I would suggest forget what that says. It comes with an extra long pin, and only use that extra long pin, because it literally probably took me 1 to 2 hours. I think it was probably 2 hours to try and get this undone. Initially I tried to undo the safety mechanism from the trigger, but then I ran in with the issue that underneath here there was not enough clearance to be able to shift the trigger sideways and pull the safety mechanism out, because once you have that safety mechanism in this section here and then you have the bolt release installed, you can no longer twist the action 45 degrees in order to get the trigger out. So what did I do? So after I felt like I had destroyed my trigger and I was almost going to call it quits and then just cut that knob off and possibly buy a new trigger, until I looked at the cost of triggers, whereas the majority of the ones that I could find in Australia were the Timney trigger, which was $600. Sorry, I'm not spending $600 on a fucking trigger. This trigger is good as is. It's nice and crisp. It does what I needed to do. so I wasn't going to give up that easy. So I just took a deep breath. I tried to essentially bang it on the table a whole bunch of times, and while fingering this a little bit, to try and get it to drop. So I've got a whole bunch of dents in my freaking table here now because I was constantly banging on the end here, or not there, but this wasn't installed, on the end of this, whilst sort of jimmying it around to try and get the pin to come loose. I don't know if that did anything. It didn't seem like it did anything. I thought at first it was, but after a while of beating the shit out of it, I don't think it was doing anything at all. So I kept turning it around. I kept trying to grab it in from inside here. That's a no-go because you can almost get nothing in there. I tried even going through the back because you can actually see this bolt release through the action itself, and trying to figure out a way in there, but which I believe you could probably see now. Yep, you can see it in there, but there's not enough gap sort of in between. I can't even get the thing in there. There's not enough gap to put any tool in there in order to try and shift the pin down. And then all of a sudden I'm just sort of sitting there looking and going, okay, what can I do? So I basically got this on the table as is now, and I turned the barrel so then this sort of shifted upwards a little bit, and there was just enough gap in the bottom there to get one of my tiny screwdrivers, which I use this one, basically like the small, well, you can't even focus on it, it's that small, the smallest screwdriver I had, and I basically jammed it in there and tried to scrape the pin down. Hell, I even got to the point where I was using this magnet to magnetize my Allen keys to use as a writer. So I got one of these small Allen keys, which is now magnetized because I sat there stroking it with the magnet, which then turns it into a magnet. Tried to magnetize it out, but I don't think the pin's made of material that's magnetic, so that wasn't going to work. But yeah, I just basically got it to a point where I could actually fit the tiny screwdriver in there and just basically dug at the pin downwards, and then I saw it shift and I was like, holy crap, I'm getting somewhere. And probably another half an hour of me trying to shift that pin in that way, it finally dropped. And then I could rip everything apart. I got the trigger out, I got this out. It basically was back to basics again, back to initial installation. Which then took me another probably 15 minutes to get the trigger back together, which was painstaking because I don't think you can see it from here. Well, basically at the back of this trigger, there's a mechanism that connects to the rod that goes through for the safety. And then at the same time, there is a pin which you may be able to see just there. You probably see it better if I put it into safe mode. It'll pop up. So that pin there, I was even having trouble figuring out which way it was going because I couldn't remember if there was a recess like it is now popping up through the action. After much deliberation, I finally figured it out. So I got the pin in the right way. So after you get this sort of in slightly to the housing, you've then got to use something to push. There's a spring, there's a sear in the back of the trigger, and then there's a spring inside that sear thingamabob, to which this has to then go through a hole in the sear, as well as making sure that spring has been pushed in like where's my finger? That direction. So the pin for this can pass through. Then at the same time, you have to try and get that pin there in, because there's a front section to this safety bit, of which that has to go through because to actuate that pin. Right? This is an exercise where I needed it to be a goddamn octopus. right? So I've got like my fingers like this, I've got freaking fingers in all different directions. I didn't even think my fingers could do that. And then I've got my other hand that's trying to articulate a tool at the same, like pressing the spring in at the same time I'm trying to press the pin for this through, and then get that pin in at the same time, mate. I kept at it, and perseverance was golden. I managed to freaking finally get it in place, make sure everything worked, mate. It's beautiful, back to original condition. Sure, there's a few scuff marks on it from my tooling, but you know what, don't give a shit so long as it does the job. And I'm not going to see it anyway, like I can't see it because the trigger's inside all of this metal. Perfect. Alright, so am I happy with it? Well, so far, yes. Quality, that's just the magazine. If I pull that out, doesn't, and the only other noise coming from that is the springs on this now. So, you know, it's hard. This Magpul stock, I reckon it's better than the skeleton stocks that MDT have, because the MDT stocks, which I've got one on my ESS chassis, they tend to rattle a lot, and I don't feel like the bits that extend these out and extend this up are overly stable enough. I prefer this. Magpul did a much better job at getting this to actuate properly without having any rattles and whatnot. Very simple installation. It's probably the easiest part of the installation was getting this stock on, because it's just a buffer tube, as you'll see in the video, with a bolt in the back of it. And then, you know, to get the bolt in and out of this, like, it's essentially you just knock this down, this here, flip it all the way around, and if I do this, and it just pops off. Sit it up here, and then I just stick the bolt. My camera work is absolute shit. And then I just stick the bolt in as per normal, like, and then this just bolts straight back on. And you just push it on. Like, can I do it one-handed? I don't know if I can. Yep, I can. Even though you didn't see it, because my camera work was absolute horrendous. And then just push it up until it goes click, like that. It doesn't come off. Solid as a rock. So, very painful install. I don't know if I would buy this chassis again. Well, I'm not going to buy this chassis again, because this is the only rifle I want with it on there. But, you know, it is what it is. It's beautiful. It's fucking heavy, so it's going to take a lot of the recoil of 300 out. Not that there was a huge amount of recoil that I noticed out in the field anyway. Once I get a chance to blowtorch this muzzle brake, I'll be able to put this one back and put this on. But at the moment, I'm just going to take a breather, because I'm about ready to fucking lose my nana over putting this thing together in the first place. So I'm just going to clean all my tools up, get everything down back into my safe, and worry about it another day. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed the build video, even though most of it will probably be boring and you're probably screaming at the screen going, "Don't do that, or do this instead." It is what it is. I'm an amateur at building rifles. I just do it for shits and giggles and because I like it. So yeah.